every youth qualified to be a leader?
It's Omoru Dion Glory, Uwe Yehana, and Adiola Adetunji Ololafe. Thank you, all of you, for watching, for joining us on this discussion tonight. House today. God bless you. Thank you so much. I think we should continue.
Thank you very much. So, sir, you said everyone, every Christian youth, as a leadership seed, head begins to shoot.
You're right.
Now, which means it is when you now look very well. Is it corn? Or is it beans? Or is it something else? Now, I want to ask, what are those leadership signals? I don't want to call it characteristics, because characteristics shows that it has shown itself in full embodiment. Now, I'm talking of those signals, those traits that you know that, oh, if you notice this or this in you, which means there is something you have to offer the world. So what are those leadership signals that we should look out for?
Now, like I said before, the leadership seed is in us. Whether it will materialize or not is our responsibility.
Wow.
Now, I in training, I teach a concept, nurture and nature. Somebody might carry something, and the environment he will live or he lives in might not allow that thing to come out. I read a book years ago written by Michael Gaba, E-Myth Revisited. He was talking about entrepreneurship. He said, in everyone, there are three people. There is a technician, a manager, an entrepreneur in everyone. I took that to Christianity, or this topic we are having today. In everyone, there is a leader, a manager, and a follower. Now, most of the people who are not working on themselves, who don't take up that responsibility to bring out the leadership in them, they end up to be a perpetual follower. To make the leadership seed in you to come out or to germinate takes a lot of responsibility on your part. One of the first qualities you see in someone that is maturing to become a leader tomorrow is he will have a sense of purpose. A sense of purpose. When you sit down with such a person, in 5 minutes, tell me who you are or who you are becoming. He will begin to tell you what God has told him or he has discovered about himself. Now, even if God has not spoken about you about anything, then he will begin to talk about his passion and his giftings. Now, when you see that, you are seeing a leader that is about to emerge. So when you see somebody with identity crisis, the leadership seed is dead.
Once there is identity
crisis, leadership seed is dead.
Because I think identity is even the beginning of...
Just like Miles Monroe said, when the purpose of a thing is not known, abuse is inevitable. Now, that's one side. The second side is that when you see someone who already has a clue about his tomorrow, then you see somebody who is ready to give in time to developing into that person he has seen. Now, you see somebody who is already finding some people that look like where God has shown him and is ready to be attracted towards them. Now, for instance, if I say that, okay, maybe I have the call of God upon my life, and I don't have a pastor whose ministry is like, oh, God is speaking to me about this kind of ministry, and this ministry has imparted me so much, and I'm packing their tapes and their books and I'm reading them. I'm not only attending service on Sunday, I'm listening to the message again and again during the week, and I'm reading books written by that same pastor. Because you know, when you are reading an author, you are getting informed and also getting impacted. That's the suicide of reading or studying someone. So if you tell me that you have a leadership seat, and I'm not seeing you as somebody who is purposeful or is purpose inclined, and somebody who is studious, you are not reading, you are not maturing. And then when it comes to responsibility, maybe in church you are a member of choir, and they say choir meeting is 5 o'clock Saturday evening, and you always get there 6 o'clock. You are not always keeping to your time. When you have appointment, you break appointment. Then you are not developing to the kind of leader that we are talking about.
So, sir, thank you very much for offering. Now, some people know that they have
this leadership
thing in them, but they don't know how to nurture it. Because whatever you do nurture will definitely not grow.
Yes,
and they're now looking out for people to help them walk that path. So I want to ask, how do they go about choosing a mentor? Someone who can say, okay, hold my hands. Let's go. I would guide you. Somebody who would not lead them astray. So what are those things youth should look out for in choosing a mentor?
Now, one of the, like I said, your purpose should be like the compass guiding you towards people. When you see a man who has located purpose, it's like somebody who has just discovered where he's traveling to. Then he will begin to look for people who are traveling around that same area. Or somebody who has been to that place before to tell him a little about the place and the journey on the road. So that is what we're talking about. Now, mentoring, many people don't really understand mentoring. Mentoring does not really need to be very close to a person. Somebody can mentor you on the pages of books. And you can also serve under a person. Now, once you begin to sense the direction your life should go, according to the leading of God or the passion and the giftings you have. Let's say somebody wants to develop to be a public speaker, maybe a consultant or a motivational speaker. Then you look out for people around. Should I mention names?
No problem, so I can.
Like Fela Drotoye. You look out for Fela Drotoye's engagement in some platform, maybe MP3 or video or some books. And then you read about him. Then you Google some motivational speakers material like Dale Carnegie, how to win friends and influence people, and how to talk and people will listen to you. Yet when you begin to read materials like that, then you begin to hear from people around you, those who are saying the same thing you are. For instance, if I'm going to Port Harcourt and I get to the terminus and I see one or two people going to Port Harcourt, I will be wise to hang with them than to see someone that is going to Abuja and I'm now gisting with the person. I won't know when Port Harcourt bus will arrive and I might miss the bus. So that is one of the ways to choose mentor in life. Locate your passion. Begin to do some study about those who have traveled on that road. And as you are reading materials or you are listening to materials, rub minds with your friends. In fact, when a man locates purpose, some friends that does not matter to his life will disappear. And then gravity will pull some people that matters to his life towards him. And then when you begin to discuss with all your friends, some will say, have you not heard of so person? I say, who is that person? Then you begin to Google, then locate the person. If he has written a book, or if he has given a speech, you begin to look for material in that area, then you have found your mentor. But the problem people have is that when they locate a mentor, they want to kill the mentor. Because they want to meet the mentor and then put their life on the mentor.
Like have a personal relationship.
I have some young guys like that. They come to my house, maybe sometime I want to do some personal study. They will come and say, sir, I have this question in my mind. They discuss, you know, when you have your mentor, you can discuss anything with your mentor. You can discuss your relationship, your life at work, your family issue. And when they come, I share thoughts with them. But I observe that some of them are not serious. They always come back with the same questions, time and time again. Then I find my way how to sieve them out.
Thank you very much. I'm still coming to that question. You'll find time to sieve them out.
Yes.
It's kind of
I'm not getting the balance. You will find a way to sieve them out.
Okay, okay. Before I come back to that question very fast, I want to use this medium to just apologize on behalf of what is happening right now. We're having a technical glitch on those of you viewing us online, especially on Facebook. Please just our technical guys are working on it. We trust God that very soon we'll give you what you need right now. So please just flow along with us, and we trust to do you good today. So coming back to what you said, that you look for a way to flush them out. What if this self people do the fact that they are like turning to almost like a pessimist now? A pessimist. Yes, thank you for that. And really, these people, it might be as a result of ignorance, but they have discovered that, but they are led that you are the person to really mentor them. Maybe because of their own, because I believe that mentoring also is a process. Yes, and I want to believe there are stages of mentoring.
Yeah, you're right.
Though for maybe somebody who is coming in as a novice, just by privilege, is opportune to know, okay, this, I think I like this. Or maybe it might not even be a Christian now when it comes to mentoring, because we're talking about government now, and he's discovering that, oh, this person. And for instance, on that, based on what you said now, let's assume and
naive.
yes, I have people that I'm trying to mentor, for instance, in the line of business that I do. Sometimes in the middle of the night, they're trying to call me to ask for some questions. I'm like, I think I taught you this last week. Are you serious? Go back to what I told you. But somehow I see that they feel bad because, no. But somehow I try to quickly balance. Okay, please,
Mr. Johnson.
All right, so what do you do to that? Do you just, how do you sift them out?
Now, you just said something now, that mentoring is a process.
All right.
I was discussing with you before the program. I said, mentor was a name of a person.
Really?
Yeah. In the Odysseus story,
Okay.
there was a man, Odysseus. He was the king of Ithaca. Odysseus was his name. Sorry. He was to go for a war, the Trojan War. And he had a son, Telemachus by name. And he wanted his son to be trained in the art of war. So he called a guy, his friend, a confidant, mentor, and he handed over his son Telemachus to him. And he went for the war, the Trojan War. The war, he won the war, but he had issue after the war.
Yeah.
He could not get back home on time. So he wandered away for 10 years. During these 10 years, Telemachus has been mentored or has been trained by mentor. And then he is now a grown man. Now, he said, sir, I want to go and find my father, the king of Ithaca. So he was released. In mentorship mentoring, there must be time your mentees come to you to hear from you. You clear their doubts. And then the next step is to release them to go alone with what they have heard from you. To go and do something. And out of what they have done, the challenges they have, they remember what you have said some times ago, and they quickly apply it, and they get results. They are happy. Some, they don't know what to do. They are disappointed, and they are coming back with questions. So when you see a mentee that is always coming back with questions, no actions, this is what I've done, and this is what I faced, this is the challenge I have now, and he's always coming back with the same question, the same kind of question, then the best thing you can do to such mentee is to abandon him for a while.
Why?
Just like Telemachus learned, and he went on a search for the king of Ithaca, his father. And eventually he located the father, and the two of them now had to come back home. While coming back home, they discovered that the kingdom has been hijacked. And the two of them joined forces together, and they were able to overcome those who have hijacked the kingdom. And then the king now saw that, oh, my son is now a grown man, a grown-up man.
He has matured.
He has matured, yes.
So, sir, I would like to know, you're talking about mentoring, and some people will tell you that is it compulsory? You know, you said something, you said you can mentor someone from afar. Mentorship can be from afar or from or close to you.
Yes.
But I'm of the opinion that there are some people outside there that would want to, you know, there are some experiences that you cannot see on black and white. That you will need somebody to sit you down and share their personal experience. Now, having said that, some people will tell you that is mentorship compulsory?
Since you have the Holy Spirit.
Since you have the Holy Spirit. We are not even come to the aspect of is it biblical? Is mentorship compulsory? Or it's necessary? Which one would you advise?
Mentoring or mentorship is biblical.
Okay.
We have examples.
Okay.
Paul mentored Timothy. Let's stop at that. Okay, Elijah mentored Elisha.
Thank you for that, sir.
Now,
Jesus mentored
the disciples, especially the first three, Peter, James, and John. When he wanted to wake up Jairus' daughter, he took them in. No lesson, he just showed them what to do. And when Peter was to raise Dorcas, a daughter too, he knew exactly what to do. Now, if you want your mentor to sit down with you and take you step by step, then you will affect his program. Because the mentor also is on a journey. He has mentor. He's a mentee to someone too. just like you are to him.
Yeah.
Now, you will be a good mentee if you cherish the time of your mentor. So, the time he shares with you, you so much appreciate it. In the business world, some people will book a dinner or a lunch with someone they call a mentor. And when you get to the restaurant, maybe choice restaurant in town, when you get there, you are not eating when your mentor is eating. You are sitting down, your mentor is eating, but you have your jotter and your biro, and whatever he's telling you, you are jotting down. The main thing you are taking out of that meeting is what you are jotting down. Now you have to go and implement. Yeah. Now, let me take my life as an example. I have been a product of mentorship or mentoring through books. Most of the people we need in our life, we might not have the privilege to have them with us right now.
Yes.
But you can read their materials. I am a person that loves biography. I read biographies. When you decide, and I want to advise people listening to us or watching us to take time or take a lesson from this meeting, that you begin to hunt for biographies. When you read biographies, you will see successful people at a junction in their life that they have to make decisions. And suddenly you discover, oh, this is the junction I am too.
Yeah.
And you will see the decision they took and how it turned out for them, and you will quickly align. So no question again. You have seen what to do.
Yes.
I've done that severally. I don't joke with biographies.
Okay.
One thing, my father in the Lord has given us some. He has imparted me to love biographies and books. If you come to my house, if I show you my library, if you sell all the books in my library, you are buying a car immediately. Because he told us long ago that it's either you are building a library, it's either you are consciously building a library, or you are unconsciously building a mortuary. So when you are a person that likes to read materials, you will not be bothering people because whatever you want to hear from them, you hear on the page of the book.
Okay.
Simple.
Okay, sir.
You just align.
Okay.
Now when you have read a person's book and you now get an opportunity to meet him, I say, sir, I want to tell you that you have imparted me so much. There was a time in my life I was going through this issue. I picked your book, and on page so and so, I was able to know exactly what to do. He will so much be happy.
He will give you not complaints, not questions,
and he will now give you more of his time.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes, because you've devoted some time to him too.
Yes.
So please, can you pacify me
All right.
in the comments?
All right, thank you. I want to use also this opportunity to welcome Mr. Chinedu Kingsley Agiriga, Omoridion Glory. Thank you for joining us. Lola Dari Oni, thank you. PFM, you are looking good. Thank you. Thank you. Shout out to that. Adiola, Adetunji Olewolafe. They are all watching, so I think this topic is quite interesting. So I believe their comments will be rolling in soon.
So, sir, you said something. We asked you a question before, asking if it's biblical.
Yeah.
I said, is mentoring compulsory?
Mentoring is very, very compulsory, except you are not ready to achieve. You don't want to become who God has destined you to become. I want to tell you that next to your purpose in life is direction. Once you have gotten the vision is where you are going. Direction is the steps to take to get there. And I want to tell you that there is nowhere you are going that some people have not gone there before.
That's true.
So it will be a great advantage to locate those people who have traveled that road, and that is mentoring.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Please,
sir.
I just quickly ask this question. Is it also compulsory to have mentors for every phase of your life, or every area of your life?
We're still coming to that question.
All right. Okay. Because
I would like to ask.
All right. Thank you.
You know that we need a mentor. Now, what does it take to be a mentor? At some point, I won't lie to you, I had challenges in my life. And the challenge is that I don't like people choking me. So when you talked about some mentees not knowing the time to approach, you know that this person also needs personal time to him or herself. So I want to know, and because of that, I began to withdraw. If I just noted that you want to start getting
close,
I feel that if there's a need for me to give you some information that are needed, I will, because that is what I love doing. But when I noticed that I had a girl in school then, she was in year 1, I was already in like 500 level or 400 level. And immediately she got into school, she just felt so much in love. It became a problem for my roommates. That sometimes I had to run away. I'll just tell them, please, I'm not in the room. When she comes, tell her that I'm not around. Now, I at some point, I began to feel that maybe I failed. Maybe I would have been able to do more. She loved me. She just wanted to, okay, how did you do about this? How did you know God? How did you get to this level? Now, for people that have those challenges, what does it take to be a good mentor? You know, you're not just mentoring people. For people that they cannot, they're just overwhelmed by your personality. They just want to be close. How do you be a good mentor? That you do not. I had one in my teenage years, and it was so close to me. It was so bad that he wanted to be sleeping in my house. And at a point, I was finding it, my parents understood. Maybe, but I was finding it difficult. I threw him away too. And today, I won't lie to you, I am regretting it.
Yeah, I must tell you, let me just pick it up from there.
Yes, sir.
You did not do well.
I didn't do well, Lord.
Yeah, I must tell you.
Yes.
There was a story I read in a book by Rick Joyner, The Final Quest. He was talking about, he had a vision of heaven. He was taken to heaven, and he began to see some great men of God. But to his surprise, he saw one particular man of God that was highly placed when he was here. But he saw him at a lower cadre in heaven. So when he saw the man quickly recognized him, and the man welcomed him, and they started talking. But the man could see from his face that he was not happy with the level he saw him. The man told him some very, very bitter truth. The man said, "Thank my Lord Jesus for me, for counting me worthy to be in heaven. I know you thought I should be higher than where I am today here, but it was just by grace that I made it here, because I messed up while on earth." Now, he was wondering, how did he mess up? The man said, "One of the things I want to tell you is that I want to apologize to you, because God sent you to me at a time in my ministry and in your life to mentor you, but I messed up. And you are not the only one. There are many people like that God sent to me at that time that I messed up not mentoring them well." He said it was partly because of their attitude, that they were not having good attitude. They were not doing what they should do. Also, his own attitude to not being patient with them. So then that's they decided why I say you have not done well.
I was young, I was naive.
Because
the pressure was like,
who knows? Maybe you are training the next wife of a president.
Let me not talk. Let me just not talk.
Now I want to give you a rule.
Yes, sir.
Now, in learning and in attaining to higher heights in life, there are people higher than you. You must give back to them.
Yeah.
And there are people above you. You must take from them. So if you are not giving to people down, you are not entitled to getting from people up.
Yes, sir. You were very right. I'm very sorry, because I noticed at some point too, I wanted to get close to some people, and I wanted to just draw from them.
It's a law of karma. It's the law of karma.
And I noticed maybe true. If I felt bad, but I just felt maybe I'm also choking them. So I just I also withdrew. It's affecting me, but today as we picked the topic, you know, some things you just come back as flashback. So, sir, please continue. We're listening to you.
So how do you become?
So how do you become a good mentor?
Now,
so that
thank you for reminding me of that question.
Like
now, you will only be a good mentor when you are somebody that is developing himself constantly. That's the first step. Then you too must be purposeful, responsible, and you have a goal that you are striving at. Is very, very important, because that is the only way you can influence or impact people positively. When you see somebody that is idle and is not doing anything, even though if you have achieved success to a level and you rest on your horse, very soon you discover that your success is archaic and you are no longer relevant. Then such a man will not see good people around him again. But as long as you are striving to be better than who you are today, then gravity, some people will be pulling towards you, and they will need your advice in some particular area of their life. And like Mr. Femi said, PFM said the other time, we need mentors in different areas of our lives. When I was young, I was not married, I have a pastor I worked with. I always like his family life. The way he was training his kid, the way his wife was relating with him. He was starting a ministry then, and he told me that he will want me to be part of the ministry. I was not ready to leave my church, but I was ready to assist him. So I skipped my service. I would go early to first service in my church and then go and join him. The day we launched the church, I was there and we started growing. So I took some things from him. He was not caning his children. He would say, Omotolani, sit down there. And a 2-year-old daughter will sit down. You know, when the daughter wants to move again, say, if you move, daddy will cane you. She will not move again. I said, but I've been seeing some parents that they cane their children, they will still not listen to them. So one day I asked him, he told me, he said, when you train your kid with love early in life, and you make them know that daddy can get angry when you disobey daddy, and a time will come that you will not need cane to train them. Yeah. Just Omotolane, sit down there. She will understand. And I love that. Yeah. I love that.
Okay.
So as long as you are relevant in life and you are striving towards success, you are aiming at success, you are a mentor to some people that will come towards you. Just recognize or be sensitive to people that God sends to you, impact their life, because you also will be impacted.
Okay. So which means that for every area, for every aspect of our lives, it is normal, it is okay for us to have different mentors.
Yes.
So, sir, I would like to, before we even establish that, because there's still a part we'll have to establish that.
Okay.
Because when we are relating to the Christendom,
okay.
I would like to know, should your life, I've seen some people that will tell you that, this is how Mr. Lagbaja walked it. So, therefore, I must walk it that way. Mr. Lagbaja has one wife. It is normal to have one wife, though. I have one wife. Mr. Lagbaja has 3 kids. 3 kids is a must. Mr. Lagbaja sent his children to this school. I must, because you feel this person is your mentor. Should your life be doctored? Should it be a prototype of your mentor?
Not at all.
Okay,
Not at all.
Okay, sir.
Now, when you see a mentee that is mature and responsible, it doesn't trouble you too much. And when you give little instruction, it goes extra mile.
Yes, he understands.
Such are the good people to mentor. Such people have the mind of their own. And they could recognize the grace of God upon you as somebody who is living their life, their tomorrow today.
Okay.
Like one day God told me, he said, do you want to know your tomorrow? I said, yes, sir. He said, look at your father today. He said, do you want to know your tomorrow? Look at your father today. God has spoken some things to me personally about my tomorrow and even the work of God I'm doing. My tomorrow, I have some clue about it. Based on the fact that I have a father in the Lord and I have mentors. Now, when you begin to doctor your life after your mentor verbatim, you are not a good mentee. When you say my mentor has 3 kids, I will have 3 kids. That's not part of your assignment. Yeah. No. If you read the Bible, when Elisha went with Elijah to cross Jordan, and they were coming back, and he was faced with the same problem with Elijah, which Elijah faced when they were going. He said, where is the Lord God of Elijah? Now, he did exactly what his master would have done if he was there. That is mentoring. Now, when you have issues in your life, I say, okay, if my mentor were to be here now with this problem, what will he do? That is when you are doing well as a mentee. But when you say, okay, my mentor has 3 kids, I will have 3 kids, you are taking ephemeral things, issues that are not relevant at all, and you are neglecting the relevant ones.
Yes, and sir, if I'm right, I think also the purpose of mentoring is strictly based on purpose.
Yes.
Not life. Not so other things the person or your mentor is doing.
Yes.
If it's a pastor, his lifestyle when it comes to pastoring, that's what you are supposed to be following, not because he has 2 kids.
No, I just used that children as an example.
Yeah.
So that was why I made that illustration. So, sir, thank you for that. You've been saying something about someone not being a good mentee. If this person is doing this, this person is not being a good mentee. Now we're talking about mentoring youth for leadership roles. What does it take beyond knowing the signal, seeing the signal, nurturing this? What does it take for me or him or anybody else or any of the viewers to be a good mentee so that your mentors will not run away from you?
You know, in the leadership world, they will say that there are mentors and there are tormentors. Some mentors will become tormentors, but there are troublesome mentees too.
Okay.
Now, let me go to the topic. Okay. Mentoring youth for leadership. Very lovely topic. I was telling Mr. Femi the other time, there are some peculiar problems with today's youth. One of it is that today's youth, they lack direction. They have identity crisis. They are not taking time to hear from God, to know their purpose, or maybe searching their gift and talents to know their passion. That's one side. They are not patient. They want microwave success. They don't know that you cannot jump up to stay up. You have to climb up.
Wow. This is much.
And they are lazy in reading. I have some mentors that I will tell them, go and buy so book. They will not buy. 1 year I was on the neck of one of my mentees to buy. I stated 5 books for him to buy. He didn't buy it for 1 year. But the day he bought those books, I now mandated him, go home and read. Don't come to me until you have read at least one of these books. Now, the time he was coming to me after that, he was smiling. I said, what happened? He said, sir, I saw what you have been trying to tell me all this while that I have not understood. I saw it when I started reading those books. It was like you were there guiding me reading it. I said, that is what I've been telling you. So whoever wants to mentor today's youth for leadership will be a little bit firm, because they don't, truth is bitter. Today's youth want you to pamper them. And I want to tell you that nobody can pamper you into success. Somebody that will place some laws and say, go and do this. And if you have not done it, you don't go back to him. And then in church, as a pastor, we should know the condition of our flock. Now, you must begin to see some youths who have some exceptional qualities, maybe in the choir or prayer band or ushering or protocol. And then, as a pastor, you can gather them aside from the crowd. Create a class with them. Pick a book to read with them. I have an idea. I always tell every group of youth everywhere I go to start book review. You can pick a book, and as the mentor to these people, you tell them that I personally will read it. Or to encourage them, you can say, I will buy this book for all of you to read, but you must promise me that you will read. And then you have read the book long years ago, you have applied the book into your life, and then as they are now reading it for the first time, you are the teacher, they are the students. Mentoring has started. And now from there, the kind of questions they are asking, you begin to see their mental capacity, and then you begin to delegate some little leadership roles to them. And then, before you know it, the leader of tomorrow is emerging gradually.
Thank you very much, sir, for how far you've taken us. I don't know if any of our viewers have comments and all the rest. So I would like to ask, sir, you said that your mentor should be someone whose today
is your tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Is gray hair, like age, different? Is it compulsory that your mentor is older than you in age?
Very, very possible.
Is it compulsory? Because I don't know. I don't know if it's, I'm just from personal experience. Is it possible that you have your age mates who are looking up to you? Like, I want to walk this walk you're walking. How are you going about your success? How are you going about your life? So I'd like to know, sir, is gray hair a criteria for mentorship?
Not at all.
Okay, sir.
Not at all.
I'd like you to explain
the criteria for mentorship is the result the person is producing. That's the criteria.
Thank you.
The result the person is producing that is tallying with the direction God is telling you to go. So you are beginning to see someone in you that God is telling you that you are beginning to see your tomorrow in that person. So it's not about most times, sometimes mentee is older than the mentor.
Or mentor is older than the mentee.
And the mentor is older than the mentee. I'm not. I stand to be corrected.
Yes, sir.
But I read the book of First Kings, Second Kings. I discovered that Elisha was not a small boy when he met Elijah.
Wow.
Elisha was already in business. Was a big time farmer. And the Lord instructed Elijah to go and cast mantle on him.
Yes.
So Elijah did not even talk to Elisha. He just casted the mantle. And instantly Elisha recognized. And from that day, Elisha began to call Elijah my father, my father. My father, my father.
Okay.
Now, it's not about age. It's about the results the person is getting. That is showing to you that maybe this person will contribute to my tomorrow, today.
Okay. So, sir, I would like you to give a word for people who are seeing their tomorrow in another person's today. But it happens that that person happens to be younger to them in age or possibly age mates. What word I would like you to say? Because
I will tell them to be humble enough to learn. You know, in the Bible, many people think humility is prostrating to greet people, looking pious. That's not humility. The Bible says the meek will lead guide in judgment. In the book of Psalm 25. Now, it's only the meek that is permitted to know. When you are not ready to humble yourself, you will just be a proud fool. Things will be passing you by, and you will not matter in life. If you sense that somebody has what you have, what you need, and the person is your age mate or somebody younger than you, be humble enough to recognize that and create relationship. It's very, very important. And when you get to such relationship, you don't go there shoulder high to the person, even though you are older or age mate with the person. You go with your head bowed to learn, because if your cup is not empty, nothing will be poured into your cup.
Thank you very much, sir, for that word. So I would like to ask again, in choosing a mentor, should it be by God's leading or based on your own purpose, your passion, your purpose? You know, some people would, maybe you feel, do I need to seek God? Or do I just choose this person based on the success story, his achievements, he has walked the walk that I am walking or that I want to walk? So I'd like to know, what do you have to say about that?
Now, you need both.
Okay.
God will lead you to some mentors. Okay. But your mind also will lead you to some mentors. I will use myself as an example. Now, in growing up as a Christian, let me tell you, I got born again in deeper life. I got baptized in Redeem. I became a worker in Redeem. I was part of Oyo State Choir 1993 in a redemption camp. And then I began to grow as a Sunday school teacher. Then one day, I went to a meeting. I met Bishop Oyedepo. And the way he preached, I've never heard any man preach like that. So I picked him. From there, I began to buy tapes. Later, God led me to Living Faith Church, Winners. And then I began to grow. And from there, he was mentioning Kenneth E. Hagin as his mentor. I began to look for Kenneth E. Hagin materials. He didn't tell me to look for Kenneth E. Hagin, but he was mentioning that Kenneth E. Hagin has imparted me so much in ministry. I too began to look for materials in that line. That is one side. Then the second side, when I finished from university, I was part of a group in the university. We were reading. So I began to sense that maybe I would train up to be a consultant. And I sat down. My passion is in selling. So I purposely tailored myself into becoming a consultant in marketing and management. And now, while I was studying marketing, I stumbled on Philip Kotler, the father of marketing, and also on Peter Ferdinand Drucker, the father of management. Now, I began to buy the books written by these two people, and I was reading them. Nobody told me, but I suddenly discovered that if I want to know marketing, I need Kotler. If I want to know management, I need Peter Drucker. So as I began to read those materials, at a point in the material, they will mention another author, and then I quickly go for such authors. And before you know it, I'm becoming who God has ordained me to be gradually. So God will lead you to some mentors. And as you are hearing them, you begin to hear about some other people you need to go for. God will not tell you about those people, but your mind will begin to move towards that direction and follow your mind.
Thank you very much, sir. Wow, our time is fast spent, and we may not even be able to round up today till next week. So, sir, I would like to, before I hand over to PFM to round up, I don't know if you have any last word, any word of advice for our viewers, people looking at us, people who have been in the shackles of should I seek a mentor or not, because they are seeking direction, but they don't know how to start, or how to even, they've not even been able to, maybe they've been able to just find their purpose. They don't know the direction to go. I don't know if you have a word of advice, a last word for them before Pastor Femi takes over.
I will want to tell anyone listening to us or watching us live to know that you need some people in your life for God's purpose in your life to be materialized. And I will want you to pray for God to lead you to some people. This nation needs leaders. The problem we're having is because we don't have some God-fearing people in the place of leadership. We have leaders who are just occupying position, but they are not on assignment. They are just situational leaders. So, but we need real leaders, because it has been confirmed that real leaders emerge in time of crisis. Our nation is at such a critical time that the youth of today should begin to develop themselves to emerge into the leaders of tomorrow. And I want to tell you, you are not no longer leader of tomorrow. You begin to lead today. In your little capacity, begin to lead today. And I want you to take time to find your purpose with God and locate your passion and your giftings, and then begin to self-educate yourself. Many of us have relied so much on our degrees and our certificates. And I want to tell you that there's something called self-education. You have never seen a great man who has not embarked on a journey of self-education. So I want to challenge anyone listening to me that the leadership seed in you must not die. The leadership seed in you must not die. This nation needs something you carry, and you must give back to this. You must give it to this nation, because some people are destiny are connected to your life. If you don't find your purpose, they will not find their purpose. I'm challenging everyone listening to me to take time to hear from God and begin to develop into God who God has ordained them to be. And if there's any responsibility to take, please do, because we need it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. So, Pastor Femi, over to you. I know our viewers have been greatly blessed
Thank
today.
you thank you so much, Mr. Kimonsi. God bless you so much. We are glad to have you so much today.
You're welcome.
I know that everyone who has viewed us online today have been blessed. And for as many that would still go back to watch this a live program, I tell you, is an encounter, is an experience. I would like you also to join us the same time next week. I want to use this opportunity to also thank the person of Adiola Olubusayo Adibayo and everyone who has joined us today for your comments, your questions, and everything that you've learned today. Trust God, and just like Mr. Kiranti said today, that God is interested in you getting a mentor. Don't deceive yourself. Don't think you can do it alone. Where God wants to put you, there are people who has gone ahead, and the journey will be faster if you can just lean on their shoulder.
Yes.
Okay, so God is counting on you. You don't say you don't have to be a pastor before you get a mentor. Even as a politician, as somebody in affairs of government, in schools, okay, in communities and in church, God wants you. He wants to show you the way. The Holy Spirit is there to lead you. Yes, but the Holy Spirit is not going to jump. You are not going to see him physically. But there are people carrying that grace that will lead you to that place where you are destined to get to. So please, thank you so much for joining us today. We expect to see you the same time next week Wednesday. God bless you. See you next week Wednesday. God bless you. Take care of yourself and have a lovely week and weekend. God bless you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. God bless you for this time.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. It's an honor to have you here today.
It's a pleasure
God bless
being
you,
here
sir.
too.
Yes. Thank you.
I'm convinced it's not because I am worthy to receive the kind of love that you give, but I'm grateful for your mercy I'm grateful for your